Hi there, welcome. My name's Ian Darby, and basically I'm going to start doing a new thing through a few of my friends' suggestions and ideas. I'm just going to be talking sports. I'm going to be talking NFL mainly. I'm from the UK, so the NFL, American football, isn't as big here, but the people who do know about it enjoy it a lot, and it's growing so fast with Wembley games. So I thought that for the fair weather fans, may I say, like the people who don't really follow the sport religiously as others do, my podcast is going to be aimed for just the generic viewer who just doesn't really know too much about it. I'm just giving you a rough idea, trying to keep you up to date with what most teams and situations are going on. So this is my first video. This is going to be the introductory one. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the 2019 Combine, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about the 2019 London Games, how they relate to me, how it relates to you. And the last one will be a little bit about myself, what I do, what I like. And yeah, hopefully through the weeks down the line, if it builds interest or interesting, I'm just doing this for myself. I'm enjoying it a lot. And if I still enjoy it and I keep doing it, yeah, I'll be posting out news of potential teams updates. So like, what are people going to do? What's happening with your team, etc. And obviously I'll try to go around the 32 and I'll keep it fresh for like that. So that's basically the main objective, to give people a general idea what's going on if they don't like to follow the off season or whatever, and just give you some insight from my view. And I personally want the sport to be bigger here in the country, so I think doing little stepping stones like this can help, because we're trying to make it bigger in the long run. Yeah, so without delaying you anymore, let's get into this. Right, so let's talk 2019 Combine. There's been some athletes this year, definitely, mainly on the defensive side of the ball, but this is going to be a really fun draft class. Just a few notes. Keep an eye out of this boy called DK Metcalf. He literally just dominated the Combine. He ran faster than Julio Hopkins. He's big. Yeah, he ran a 4.33, I believe, and that's ridiculous for someone that big. He looks like one of those players if you just create in Madden. You just beef up them stats and height. He's going to be an absolute monster at wide receiver. Kyler Murray, short man, 5'10", so all those smaller rumours are not true, but he is still pretty small. He decided not to throw at the Combine. He's going to save it for his pro day, which I don't think is very good to do. I think it's always good to be part of the Combine even if you don't know the players or receivers, because it just shows you're a real competitor. That's what teams like. They want someone who's really hungry, but obviously film doesn't lie. If a team loves him, they love him. Right now, when I've been recording this, they have just done the D-line, the O-line, kickers, punters, and the quarterbacks and the running backs, and the tight ends, sorry. I'm just going to pick out a few names from each position group, the eyes to watch out for in this Combine. But I will not be including the DBs, but I can tell you a few before they actually release it, who's most likely going to do so. So, I haven't got too much to say about the punters and kickers. Like, I'm not being that guy, but are they people? Are they not? I'll let you decide that. QBs, main three: Haskins, Dwayne Haskins. A lot of people have him the number one. He's a bit like a Jameis Winston. Like if you're trying to compare him to someone, Jameis Winston of Tampa Bay. Yeah, he's a bit like that. Not a statue of a man, but not exactly the most fluid, and he's just quite a solid passer. Drew Lock, a bit more athletic, tall prototype QB, big arm. He can launch that ball. Yeah, he would make a lot of teams happy. Again, I quickly mentioned Murray. Honestly, in my opinion, though, regardless of what everyone wants to say, if Murray was 6'2" and like literally just fit the bill for height or weight, whatever, he would be the number one pick, and no one would bat an eye. Because he's short, he doesn't fit the mold. He was going to play baseball if he didn't play NFL. People are just really low on him. And I think that's not fair, because if you're going on pure talent, the boy was ridiculous. Like, he'd put the ball where you want it. He was making plays, he was extending the play, and sometimes that's what you need. A person who can make plays off script. And out of all the QBs, he's the best one off script. Running backs, one of the big names from Alabama, Jacobs, he didn't run it. Not too many great running backs in my opinion, but obviously we never know because the value is decreasing with all the free agents and lower rounds doing successful. Not many catching like third down type running backs. A lot of these running backs this combine are the big bruisers, first down, second down, your workhorses. So a lot of these running backs are your big beefy strong guys, and yeah, if a team just needs someone to control the clock, grind some time down, these are your running backs you'd love. Tight end, three main names. Noah Fant, absolute speed demon. Recorded one of the faster times. He flies. He goes past safeties, past corners. He really is one of those, more like a receiver than a tight end. But the tight end is so versatile now. You need that type of person. He can really stretch defenses, give a lot of room, and if you don't respect him, he can beat you over the top. In my opinion, the best all-round tight end, T.J. Hockenson. He's literally like Greg Olsen comparison. He's not as slow as everyone thought he was. He's pretty quick. He ran a 4.7. He just has soft hands. He can do the short, he can do the mid, he can do some longer range balls. And if we're talking about a blocker, he's almost basically an offensive lineman. He can literally block you out the play. He can do what he likes. You know, you have to respect him. If you don't, he will literally catch 10 catches a game, and you can't do anything about it. And then the one, in my opinion, who's a bit in between both of them. Not quite a stretcher, but still very fast, but not as good as an inline blocker as Hockenson. Irv Smith Jr. from Alabama. He's a bit in between. Again, he can block quite decent, better than Fant, but not better than Hockenson. And he doesn't stretch the play as good as Fant, but then better than Hockenson. So that's the three tight ends there, top ones there. Offensive line. A lot of people don't respect the center position. I do play center, so I do respect the position if you know about the sport. And Bradbury, he shot himself up the rankings. Like, he was strong, he was one of the fastest, and his feet were just smooth and fluid, and you could see that's exactly what you'd want. So yeah, there's quite a few good people coming through. I won't talk too much about the D-line right now, because as I'm speaking right now, they're doing the workout. But you know, you got your Nick Bosa's, your Josh Allen's, Quinnen Williams. I just saw did a ridiculous combine 40. He ran that fast at 300 plus pounds, smooth, fast. Quinnen Williams has also shot himself up to be an even more serious contender at the number one pick in general. I'm just going to talk about the 2019 London Games quickly. I love it that the NFL is getting bigger here. I think it's great. Big fan. I love watching it in Wembley. A lot of my friends actually work the game. You know, it's like a lot of people don't know about American football in England, but if you do know about it, you realise it's a lot bigger than you realise, and like you'll meet a lot of people, and you'll be like, oh, I know you, and it does go all across the country. There's many teams everywhere. So I'm just going to quickly talk about what I like about these games. First up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Carolina Panthers. Being from Kingston, and I have a few links with my friends from Warriors, and like, you know, just in general, there's a man called F.A. Obada from the UK making it to the Carolina team. I just think it's awesome when you get that person basically grown from basically England, you know, doing what he's got to do, fighting through the practice squad, boom. He even last week in the last season, in the NFL, joined the early ones. He was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, so that's great. That's awesome. And it really highlights that England does have a lot of amazing talent, even if albeit like hidden. You know, imagine what England could do if the government deemed the sport paid worthy, like, you know, paid the coaches, paid players, you know, got scholarships, etc. Imagine how much more deadly or how much more talent we could find through ourselves with that, because England does churn out quite a lot of talents. You hear them every time there's a combine, or you hear them like through the international scheme. A lot of them do come from England, but out of all those major places, when you got like Australia, Germany, all these people getting picked by them, England doesn't get it paid. They do, their country does pay for it, ours doesn't. So I think we do very well for what we're given, and maybe if we get a bit more out, you know, it would raise awareness. Who knows what could be done in the future. That'll be a nice fun game. I'm not sure if Cam Newton might be missing the whole year, but it would be awesome to see Cam. And Tampa Bay, new coach, Bruce Arians. You know, they might go big, explosive offense. Who knows? Could be a fun game, shootout game. Next game I'll talk about, Chicago Bears versus the Oakland Raiders, or the whatever you want to call them Raiders, because honestly, we do not know where they're going to be. They just keep moving around. Las Vegas not ready. You know, it's quite funny. But anyway, Bears, amazing defense last year. If they can continue that, working on the offense, I think they can do a really good run and go deep into the playoffs if they're anything like what they were last year. And the Raiders could be fun. They got 3 first-round picks. You'd hope that your first-round talents are amazing. They're in the rebuild. They got the new GM, Mike Mayock. Gruden's the head coach there. With 3 first-round picks, it's going to be very interesting what they do. It's going to be very interesting what Raiders we're going to see next year. And there's quite a lot of Raiders fans in London, so they'll appreciate that a lot. I think it's awesome that we get to see a lot of the big names. It'll be great. I'd love to see Khalil Mack myself, personally. Then we got the Bengals versus the LA Rams. I do like that. I think seeing the Super Bowl runners-up is awesome. That'll bring so much attention, and it'll be great for everyone in this country to see a few people who was in a Super Bowl, albeit that their high-powered offense didn't do anything in the Super Bowl against Belichick. But is what is. You still got the names. Aaron Donald. Not sure if Talib and Sue will stay, but still many great names. Everyone would love to see Todd Gurley, Goff, pardon me. They got names. I'm not sure if the Cook stays, but the point is there's so much players, and the young coach, Rams would be a very fun offense, and team to watch. And if they perform anything like they did last year during the season, you can get yourself a really big shootout. Because unfortunately they're playing the Bengals. Sorry, fortunately for them they're playing the Bengals, and the Bengals look like they're in a big rebuild. They were higher than people realise, but they're losing a lot of weapons. I believe Dalton said he was leaving, their quarterback. They don't know what they're doing there. Talks if it's going to be Tannehill, who knows. But Bengals are a team, I wouldn't say on the incline, but they are in a need to find some identity to what they are. And personally, my favourite game is the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Luckily, I was able to do some PR work with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've been really friendly. They were almost like the pioneers of this London games per se. Like, they do a lot of work here for us, and they do stretch out, helping even high schools, primaries, really making American football even bigger for the younger generation. I think that's great. We've got a big fan base. The owners also owns Fulham Football Club. I love it. I don't know exactly what went wrong with them last year. They didn't really get any major injuries on defense, yet they just didn't perform like the year before. But they still got the names. They got your Ramseys. They got Telvin Smith. They got Miles Jack. They got big names. And if they find themselves with the new coach, new playing style, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will be a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, let's not sleep on the Texans. Not a lot of people talk about them, but they did a lot last year, especially in the tail end. They won in the streak. They got big names. J.J. Watt might be one of the best, might be even the best 4-3 end in the league. Even though they moved to a 3-4 now, he can kick him inside. Honestly, J.J. Watt could do anything he wants. Him and Mac, you can put your hats on. Who do you think's better? It's just like 1A or 1B. They're both still elite. On the opposite side, Clowney, they're most likely going to pay that man. Absolute baller. Yeah, they got people. I'm not sure if they'll retain Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, but yeah, the Texans are a fun team to watch, especially when you see Deshaun Watson running around at Q, throwing it to Hopkins, etc. I think that's great. So that'll be a really good battle there of defenses. That technically divisional game as well, even though they're both in London. So yeah, a bit of info to go through. As I said, as my first take, love to hear back from you. Give a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Just contact me. I love to talk sport. I'm literally here to have a good time. These are all my opinion as well. I just want to say I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone. I'm just talking from a generic fan from the UK who does play the sport as well. Just I want to get it bigger. You hope as it builds more interest, it becomes bigger as a whole in the country, and that will help the kids, our kids, just make it bigger, so being a lot more diverse. So if you like it, I can just keep giving little snaps. I might make it smaller. I'll give bullet point more facts for future things, like even if it's a few things this team could do to improve. I can make a plethora of all types of videos, just for anything you want. If there's any demands from people in comments, I'll make a video for that. I'm trying to obviously just please everyone, but obviously I know that's also very hard to do. So yeah, I'm a big Bronco fan, by the way, if that even matters. So if I did a lot of videos on a team, it could be more Broncos specific. But I'm obviously good. I'm a neutral man anyway. I'll watch it all. I'll make videos on everyone eventually. Yeah, I just want it to be a lot bigger. And I'm doing it all for like the generic fans or people who just don't follow the news as much. Like they watch the games, but they don't follow the news. So hopefully this can just be the little like bite-sized news recaps, and that's my plan from this channel. So yeah, if you like it, please give me a click, or yeah, if you've got things to improve, I'll do that as well. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much for listening, and hope to see you on my channel soon.